We're unlimited. When we work together, there's no way we won't be strong. Unlimited. We're here for each other. We've got our back. I'm where I belong. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. Together. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. Together. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. Together. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. We're rolling, we're rolling. Together.
For goblins, we can just make up a color. For the blood.
Rainbow. They have rainbow blood.
They have rainbow blood. We're going with it, and I love it.
They're like freaking unicorns.
No, unicorns
I
have
had a
silver
thought.
blood.
If
I know, Mom.
humans have red blood and elves have blue bloods, does that mean that half elves have purple blood?
Purple blood.
Because I'm totally playing a half elf from now on with lavender.
I love that.
I believe that is correct.
Oh, hi, by the way.
Hi! I think that's everybody. Judy's not going to be here because she's sick, and so I'm going to be dragging her along. Unfortunately, she's going to be demoted to true healbot status. So if everybody's ready and nobody needs to,
Is
like...
My Little Pony Zaleria?
That is Zaleria.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, can you change My Little Pony to change your nickname to Zaleria? But since Zaleria and Aleran are here, let's start out with both of you rolling a d20 in the tower.
What am I rolling? No, I'm not rolling. Okay.
Yeah, they rolled. Okay.
You know, I just realized this collectibles bag is really killing my minimalist inventory aesthetic.
Yep. Are you talking about pants as inventory?
Yeah.
Where you have like 5 pounds of stuff?
Yeah, basically. I had a backpack with nothing but a set of dice in it.
I know. I'm making you a hoarder against your will.
I know.
This is the Dungeons & Dragons online game mechanic brought to life. Brought to the tabletop for your pleasure.
Wait, so we're
or displeasure.
We're at that Street Fighter meta where the game created a video game which created a tabletop game off of the video game off of the game?
Yes. It's an Ouroboros of Dungeons & Dragons.
Alright, I am here. Sorry.
That's cool. The next first thing we're gonna do is you guys it's been 2 days since you left Willowdale, so I want everybody to take 2 days of rations off of your sheet, assuming you are not a Warforged. And Zaleria, your mystical dried fish has 5 more days of potency.
Okay, sounds good.
Question for you: my Wanderer feat allows me to find food in the wilderness as long as it's available for up to a party of 5. Would that have gone into effect during those 2 days?
For you, just because of the situation, you've mainly been on the boat with your injuries.
Okay.
And you could say that theoretically you've been at the dock on a farm and there's theoretically food there, but it would be taking it away from the farm owners who are already got their own problems.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
First, in this situation, no. But if you guys were actually trekking through the wilderness, yes.
Also, can we get a status update on Wheezy the pig after he's been given a bunch of good berries?
Oh, no, Wheezy still has some sniffles, because that's just Wheezy.
Okay.
But Wheezy's looking a little bit happier, less downtrodden. You caught Wheezy rolling around the mud, which everyone knows is like the gauge by which all pig happiness is measured.
So while Wheezy is still Wheezy, he is happy Wheezy.
Happier Wheezy.
Happier Wheezy, okay.
But Wheezy is Wheezy by nature, not by illness.
Gotcha.
So, to roll up our last session, because I'm really starting now. For real. You signed up on a probationary basis with the Heroic Union of Greater Stormreach. Your first job was a monster hunt for Lord Garridon Zindalo out of the village of Willowdale in the Cerulean Hills. Lord Zindalo wants you to bring them the head of El Lagarto, the albino alligator that killed his wife a decade prior. You traveled by riverboat to the Braza farm, where the creature was last seen. There, you were charged with containing a giant water spider that is threatening the farm before the beleaguered homesteader Nash Braza is going to let you talk to his young son Bobby, who is the last person to see El Lagarto. You also met Nash Braza's neighbor, Riverwide Stoutfield, an older halfling vintner whose son, Tall Oak, had gone missing. Last session, you rescued Tall Oak from a cadre of orcs, goblins, and bandits, who apparently bled blue blood and red blood. As well as you rescued the traitor Keth Demith, who presented you with the reward of a magical whip that Kit Kat is now wielding. While this rescue was going on, Aleran and Zaleria were back at the Braza farm. Aleran was recovering from the wounds he received from some caustic giant wasp guts during the riverboat trip. And Zaleria was scouting for signs of the giant spider or El Lagarto. You're now back at the farm. You had a long rest. It's morning. Zaleria reports that she found webbing in the vegetation of the farm's south bank. On the southern bank, she also found signs of something having clawed its way out of the water. Signs of dried blood and a couple torn fragments of leather similar to what she herself is wearing. She thinks there may be a cave beneath the riverbank's surface. And I'm going to reshare the Braza farm map with you guys. And I have placed you all on the south bank where Zaleria identified webbing and bloodstains, and she thinks there's a cave. And while you guys all open that, I want to ask Nissha a question about your bond with your spiritual ancestor, Ilsevel Stardance. How do you feel her influence? Like, for example, after your brother and the Tairnadal elves seized lands from Seer during the last war and you formed the nation of Valinor, you reached a point where you felt you couldn't stay and that remaining there wasn't going to emulate your ancestor's memory. And so you decided to go to Zindrick, and that's how you found yourself with this group. How did that manifest? Did she communicate to you in any way, or did you just feel a restlessness of your current situation, or what?
I feel like Nissha felt more of a building restlessness, like just a feeling of wrongness as far as what she was doing, which didn't feel right in itself because she was doing everything that, as far as she knew and anyone around her would tell her she was doing the right thing as far as her family and her nation. But she felt this building sense of wrongness, like she wasn't on the right path and needed to make a change.
And your sense of Ilsevel isn't just that she was like a warrior, but that she was a wanderer and an explorer?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch it. What nation was she from originally?
Well, most recently she came from Valinor. Okay. But Nissha was born in Arenal, right? The Elven homeland. And then during the last war, you went...
Before Valinor was established.
You went to Corvair after the last war started and worked as a mercenary alongside other elves. And you were there when Valinor was seized.
Yeah, just wanted to...
So that's her life.
Wow.
Okay, So everybody can see where they are, like on the shore of the Braza farm.
Yes.
Is the map cool for everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
So you're on the shore. Zaleria thinks that there is a cave beneath the surface of the river. What do you do?
I walk into the river.
And Pants sinks to the bottom. And on that note, let me share another map.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably should have tied a rope around your pants before you
Walked into the river.
I was about to suggest that we give him something to indicate whether he found something, like he could send something floating to the surface.
Well, depending on how deep the river is, he could just hold his hand up with the 2x4 sticking out of the water and have it kind of float, stick up above the river.
Pants, you have discovered that your 2x4 does not reach the surface. You're actually about 35 feet below the surface now, standing on the bottom of the riverbed, and the water is murky around you, so you can only see a little bit in front of your face.
Oh, so it's quite a bit below the surface. Okay.
Yes, because keep in mind, this is the Cornu River that you sailed the riverboat down. This is a continuing bend of it, and while it has gotten shallower at this point, like the rest of the river is much deeper, and this part of the river is a narrower section, it's still a fairly big river.
Okay. Well, is that the entrance to a cave that I see? Or inside of a cave?
Yeah, you can walk along the bottom of this river as you see fit. The rest of your party, of course, has no idea about what you're seeing right now. So pretend you have no idea what he's seeing right now. And you guys can continue your discussion of how you're going to proceed while Pants moves along accordingly.
Kit Kat's just standing here thinking about how confused she is of why in Pants in water. She's just very confused right now.
Well, he is, at some point, I'm sure he would have shared his backstory, that how he wound up on Korthos is he was taking a skyship from Stormreach to Korthos Island, and during the infamous dragon attack that happened, was knocked overboard, landed in the ocean, and then spent approximately a week underwater walking on the bottom of the ocean to Korthos Island. So he's quite comfortable with trudging along the bottom of watery things.
I believe he explained that, but Kit Kat's still confused why he just jumped into the water.
Well, she said that there was a cave. She thinks there was a cave under the water, so she's gonna go look for the cave.
So what I'm hearing is we should get used to wet pants.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
This is at least the second time there's been wet pants on this trip alone.
This is true. This time he just walked in instead of leaping off the boat, though. So
Very, very casual.
So either Pants, where do you want to move now that you're underwater, or people on the shore, do you have a way you want to proceed with following Pants? Or do you want to wait until he reappears, or what's your general thoughts?
my general direction right now is actually looking up at how deep the water actually is and considering or debating whether or not it's worth trying to swim to the surface and tell everyone.
Well, you felt like while you cannot see the surface because the water is murky, you can only see about 10 feet around you. You know that you fell a fair ways, that you at least fell probably 3 or 4 times your height.
Yeah, and he's not exactly a good vertical swimmer. Tends to sink more than
There's
swim.
going to be some strength checks. Though
Yeah.
you could try to climb up the shore like you did to, like when you jumped off the boat before, or how you eventually got to Korthos Island, you kind of walked your way, climbed your way up the shore.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have him go up the physical shoreline around the cave and climb his way up and see if he can.
Are you able to move your token, or have I done something horribly wrong?
Um, yeah, I can move it.
No, you're
Not
swimming
between
then.
maps. Yeah, not between maps, but oh, I see what you're saying. This is a vertical one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a vertical map. So above you is basically toward the surface.
All right, so he's gonna try and go up.
Well, if you're going to try to swim up, I want you to do a strength check or an athletics.
All right, let's give you some athletics here. That'll do.
Well, damn, son, you've done swum to the surface.
I'm seeing like the whole dolphin thing where they
I'll
go
pop
straight up
you
and come
back
out of
up.
the water.
A little dolphin pants boings out of the water, and you can now report to your friends about what you have observed.
I found the cave, Judye,
Oh.
Okay.
flailing around, spastically. That was his report. I found the cave, flailing around. Make sure someone saw it. We got an okay, and then he goes right back down to the bottom because treading water is a bit of work.
Wait, does anybody try to stop him before he leaps back in the water and asks for more information? Or are you just all too confused to let him go?
Well, someone said okay. He heard someone say okay. That's all the
You know-
confirmation he needed.
Nah, Kit Kat's still standing there very confused.
Okay.
I'm understanding what's going on, but a little bit confused on how we're all gonna follow him.
Well, Pants is back at the bottom of the water now.
Well, he's gone.
So, you know that he found something that he thinks is a cave in the water.
Yeah, it also does not occur to Pants that everyone else needs to breathe. Like, that just...
So, swimming is a thing. You guys can certainly swim. But I will tell you in advance that there are certain weight limits for being able to swim with gear. And these are kind of house rules. For swimming, everybody with a strength of 10 can carry 20 pounds, all right? For every plus or minus of your strength modifier, you can carry 10 pounds more. So say if you have a strength of 14, you can carry a total of 40 pounds of gear while you swim without any penalties. For every 10 pounds you try to swim with, above that, you're going to have to do a strength check, and the DC goes up with the amount of weight that you carry beyond your limit. But you guys certainly can try to swim and use those as your guidelines.
And we have a convenient healbot who can stay behind and guard things on the shore.
So from what I'm understanding, with a strength of 16, Nissha could carry 60 pounds of gear while she's swimming.
50 pounds. So it's 16, you have a +3 strength modifier.
Yes.
So you get to carry 20 pounds plus 30, so 50 total.
Okay.
So I don't know how it falls on armor weights for everybody, but people certainly can bring their weapons along without any problem. Bringing your weapons and wearing armor might be an issue, depending on your strength.
Ooh, Aleran might have to strip down and get naked. Heavy armor and a shield.
But you can pick and choose what you want to try to wear and see if you can swim while doing the check and make it.
So, just to get this straight, if I have strength 10 with a +2 modifier, which means I can only carry 20 pounds of.
You have what? You have 14 strength?
12.
You have 12 strength? Okay, so that's a +1 modifier. So you can carry 20 pounds plus 10, so 30 pounds total.
So I have 12 with +1. What does that mean?
That's 30 pounds.
Okay.
So can we choose to leave our stuff on the shore?
Sure, you can choose what you want to bring with you and what you want to leave on shore.
Okay.
Are there trees nearby?
Are there any trees nearby?
Yes.
Not within close range. If you scroll the map to the northeast,
If they're 10 or 15 or 20 feet away, that's fine. I'm just looking for a tall.
The closest tree is like kind of to the northeast of you, and it's a good 100 feet away.
Okay.
At this close to the
northeast?
shore, you find that the grass is not grown up very well. There's just some brush shrubbery nearby, which might be indicative of the fact that there is a cave, some kind of hard rock underneath this part of the farmland, which might suggest why not as much stuff is grown here.
It even looks like on the river, it even looks like there's intake swirls on the water. That's a nice touch.
All right. So
Trying to
talk to me.
think.
What are your thought processes now?
Kit-Kat's trying to figure out what, if she were to swim, what she could leave behind. Which is me trying to figure out what I could leave behind on shore.
I think I know what I'm gonna.
So, Zaleria, you think you know what you're going to take with you and what you're going to leave behind?
Yeah.
So let's start with you.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but have we decided that the healbot is staying on shore?
Well, you can talk it out. She's going to go where the party encourages her to go. So she'll stay if everybody wants her to stay with your gear. But if you want her to come along to the cave because you don't know what you might find there, she will make a try to swim along with you. Okay, Zaleria, what are you bringing?
I'm just gonna bring one short sword and I guess some either we'll go with a potion.
Are we adding in like the weight of our travelers' clothes and stuff? Like our boots and our clothing?
I would say standard clothing. You don't have to charge for that. Just regular clothes. It's things like armor plus weapons plus, 50 feet of rope or something like that is going to count against you. Your bedroll, you don't necessarily want to bring that along.
Wait, so...
Well, you don't want your bedroll to get wet anyway. But...
Yeah. Okay, so...
If you want a cheap trick on your inventory sheet, if you've got everything sorted, like with your backpack and your contents, there's a little circle that looks like a t-shirt or a bag, and you can click through those to cycle them. When they're blank, it means you have it, but you're not actually carrying it, and it'll give you your current encumbrance total at the bottom of your inventory sheet, so you can kind of see where you are as to your...
And like Zaleria, I think with you can carry 30 pounds, so you can easily wear your leather, bring your longbow, and a short sword without any problems.
I just thought about that. Alright, that sounds good to me.
You could even bring your shield if you want to get fancy with it.
I'm
Yeah, why
slightly
not?
confused because all I have in my inventory, I'm just trying to go through and do what he said to do. I just have one thing, and it's just leather. Just
That's your leather
one
armor.
word. That's what I thought.
Yeah. They did that with split mail too. It was so weird. Why they didn't include the word armor.
Or mail.
Yeah.
Just splint. Banded.
Mm-hmm.
Leather.
Yes.
So, Kit Kat's all she's bringing is her her dagger, her leather armor, potion of healing, and a rapier. That's all she's bringing.
What about your new whip?
Yeah, she'll bring her. I just realized I could still carry.
So sometimes the way of the warrior is sacrifice. Nissha is only going to take her armor and her double-plated scimitar, which is still going to put her like 1 pound.
Okay. Okay, so right now I have Zaleria carrying 21 pounds, which means she's fine. Kit Kat's carrying 16, she's fine. Oh, Zaleria, were you bringing a potion of healing with you?
Yeah.
All right, so you're cool. And Nissha, for you, your scimitar is 6 and your armor is 45, so that makes you 51. And here's the thing, because the penalty is per every 10 pounds you carry beyond that, you could actually carry up to 9, you could carry 9 pounds more and still have the same DC check.
Okay, then she would also probably take her potions of healing, but nothing.
Okay. And you have 2 potions of healing?
Yes.
So you'll have a DC check, but for that much over your limit, it's not a very high check. Who's next? Aleran, do you want to go next?
Sure. If I take off my chainmail and leave most of my backpack on the surface, I am down to 37 pounds. But out of my backpack, I will take my rope and tinderbox and water skin. But I should be well below my weight allowance.
So I have your rope, your tinderbox, your water skin.
Plus basically everything else, all of my weapons, shield, all of that.
Say your weapons and your shield.
Yes.
Your potions.
Yes.
Are you bringing your torches?
To be honest, I figured those would get wet on the way down and
Yeah,
probably
you're
wouldn't
probably
be
right.
useful.
But if the party brings Izzy along, she has the light spell. And she can just light up Pants' 2x4 if you ever see him again.
Okay, and I'll also have my tinderbox, so the flint and steel with my sword, so we probably could do that as well.
No, we have at the very least 2 people with dark vision.
Yeah, there are people with dark vision.
I'm not sure. I don't know if do changelings have dark vision?
They do not. I'm trying to calculate how much Aleran is actually carrying.
According to my sheet, it's 37 pounds.
Okay, we'll just put down 37. Brighton, what are you bringing along?
I am bringing my axe, my javelins, my potions of healing, 50 feet of rope, my spear, and I'll take 2 torches just in case.
Completely hilariously, while I was looking at the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron, in the Warforged names section, pants is actually a suggested default name.
Is it really?
I love
Yes.
that.
Anchor,
Holy
banner,
cow!
bastion, blade, blue bow, church, crunch, crystal dagger, dent 5, glaive, hammer, iron, lucky, mace, pants, pierce, red, rusty.
Oh my gosh,
Pants
I
is
never
in there.
noticed that before. I don't think it is in the
Oh, wow.
3.5 version.
I don't think it is.
I think
either,
that's a
but it
change
is there. It
just
is
for
the
you,
Wayfinders.
Pants.
Love that.
I have Brighton carrying 29 pounds out of 60.
A zillion.
Wait,
Just say
out
a
of
zillion.
50. Is that what you were thinking? 29 out of 50?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can carry something for someone else if they need me.
So,
Since I don't have armor.
well, the only person who could use anybody potentially carrying anything for them would be the elf. Would be Nissha. So I'll leave it to you whether or not you offer carrying anything for Nissha.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Especially because the only things you could carry would be her potions of healing or her scimitar, and I'm not sure she would let you carry the scimitar.
Party note for the future: if anything needs to go down on a deep dive,
So
hand
quick
it to the toaster.
It's a shame that the toaster wasn't on the shore long enough to have this conversation.
Oh, I know. I'm well aware of that. Yeah, just it's one of those things. Like we should have thought of that. Oh well.
Now, does the party on shore? Do you guys want Izzy to come along with you, or do you want her to stay on shore with the stuff that you're leaving behind?
I'm cool with her staying on shore, just to ensure that our stuff doesn't get stolen.
She is your cleric, though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
What about asking the Brazos to watch the stuff because we're going to help them out anyways?
Totally. And you know, the Zindalo brothers, they're up there with them too. So, yeah. I think they'd be cool with that. So what I'm going to do is I will drag down one of the Zindalo brothers. I think it's Jal.
Yeah, we have Jal and Denoir.
So Jal will hang out here on the shore with your stuff. And Izzy will go along with you. And she's going to just bring along her leather, armor, and her shield. And I think she can carry her mace. And that will be it.
How much does Aleran's chainmail weigh?
I think it's like 45 pounds.
55 pounds.
Yep. I'll pay.
If Pants had been here, you could have gotten him to take it for you, but...
Well, theoretically, he
you
could
could
just
just
drop it in the river and just.
And hope you catch it.
maybe attach
You
a
could.
rope to it and then drop it in the river.
Fish it down to the toaster.
You could totally do that if you want to like tie a rope around it and pitch your armor into the river and hope that you can get Pants to fetch it for you.
Is there a tree or something?
Jaw will
close
stand
to
here. He can hold the rope. He's plenty strong enough to hold on to a rope tied to like 2 sets of armor.
Okay, well let's try that then. The let's hand him the rope and tie my chainmail to the other end.
Alrighty. Pants, you're suddenly hit in the head with a suit of chainmail. Tied to a rope.
Am I aware it's a suit of armor tied to a rope, or is it possibly a giant demon squid?
It lands on your head, and you as it falls off your head, you know you got it, and you can see that it's chainmail.
Okay.
You might even recognize that it looks familiar, because you've certainly seen Aleran wear this before.
Okay, well, I'll hold on to the chainmail.
And you can tell there's a rope tied to it. Do you want to like tug on it or anything? Tug on the rope?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it 3 sharp tugs.
So Jal tells you that he feels 3 sharp tugs. So that suggests that Pants has caught on to this.
Or it's being eaten by a river squid.
Or river sharks, or there's an alligator down there eating your armor.
I guess there's nothing left than to make our way down.
All right. So everybody, if you want to all jump into the water, and Nissa's the only one who has to make a check. So make a strength check.
Sorry, I'm trying to organize all these little pop-ups.
All right, that is good enough. So everybody, including Pants, once you start swimming in the water,
See, we attracted the attention of the river butt kraken, and now we're gonna die.
you can easily tell. Once you all get in the water, you're able to swim down deep enough that you find an outcropping in the rocks on the side of the outcropping, the side of the shore, that leads to a very short tunnel into an underwater cave. And I'm assuming that Pants is crawled up successfully, since you're not trying to swim anymore. And I'm going to send you...
Just imagine underwater, it sounds like RoboCop.
Once you start seeing all the other people trying to swim, because they get close enough where you can kind of see that they're swimming a particular way, I'm assuming that Pants is going to choose to follow them. But you can tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'll wave them forward and start helping them into the cave. grab a hand and yank kind of deal.
And I'm going to share another map with you. And I'm going to start moving you to that map. Why is everyone tiny?
I was about to say, holy cow, that grid is either super ultra huge or very, very tiny.
It's a very tiny grid. Oh. It's because it's actually, you only are seeing the larger lines that are equal to 4 squares. But it threw me too.
Yeah, the arrows that we're facing are bigger than we are.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you might want to zoom in a little. I'm going to reset the size of your tokens.
We're so cute.
There, you're more like actual people's.
Now, to clarify, for this map, is this one top down or horizontal?
This is horizontal, left to right.
Okay.
So you guys are at the entrance of where the water has become shore inside the cave. It is dark, though the people with dark vision can see the full length of what is currently revealed on the mask. For people who do not have dark vision, i.e. Kit Kat and Brighton, Pants. Wait, Pants, I haven't moved you yet.
Everyone not an elf.
The weaker
Yeah,
races.
everyone who's not an elf. So everybody's here. And once she notices it's dark, Izzy's going to cast a light spell on Pants' 2x4.
Why do I have an XPL on my token?
I don't know why you have an XPL on your token. Oh, it might be just the name of the file or something. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just curious because I have XPL at the beginning and I don't have a life bar or a facing thing.
Oh, well, let me do you again then. I'm going to delete your token and re-add you because that's probably going to be a flow once interesting things happen.
That's what I was thinking. Like when things get fun. There we go.
Ta-da! You are no longer XPL'd. All right, so you're in a cave. And this cave is dark other than the light that glows off of Pants' 2x4. You see about 60 feet in front of you. You can tell that this looks like a cave that actually used to be maybe a little bit smaller, but there's some sign that something has crawled, pushed, scoured its way out of the narrow crevice opening to escape and has pushed the walls back a little bit and forced it to be a slightly larger cave than it was previously. It's quite damp, and there are some tendrils of webbing along the cave tunnel that you can see. Pans is really big now.
I think first thing that I want to do is kind of re-gear, reclaim my armor from Pants, give the rope a good tug so they know they can let it go, and I can wind that back up.
Alrighty.
Over my shoulder.
Nissha would move forward just in case something tries to attack us while people are getting themselves.
And just to double check, I don't think anybody has any penalties for their armor. Like, everybody has brought their regular armor and shields with them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What armor?
I know. Brighton doesn't normally wear armor, right?
No, Brighton does not wear armor.
I have a t-shirt, which is wet. Wait, that means we could have a wet t-shirt contest. But since there's only one t-shirt, that's
You
kind
win.
of...
Pants automatically
Yeah,
wins.
kind of by default. Yeah, that's pretty... That's an intelligence 12 idea right there.
All right, adjust yourselves accordingly. Who moves forward? How much?
Nissha would continue to advance.
Are we going forward stealthily, or are we just like RoboCop clomp, 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 clomp?
Well, let me read more. I'll say the size of the hidden cave is considerable given its location beneath the riverbed. The walls are a mix of stone and clay in a roughly circular cave, or a circular shape, smooth. The walls are smooth as you walk through this part of the tunnel. The core of it appears to be compacted, as if something has pushed the earth of a smaller cave to make a larger one. Impressions on the walls seem to resemble the jagged hide of a reptile, and small shreds of leathery hide can be peeled from the grooves. A large set of claw marks gouge the floor at the cave's opening edge at the shore, and webbed to the far side of the chamber, you see webs throughout the chamber, and I'm not going to share this text with you yet, though. But you see some webs clinging, and you see more webbing the deeper that you go.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, right?
Well, this seems odd as well. I don't remember. Well, was it a water spider we were looking?
You're looking for a water spider in this cave. Or Zaleria had tracked webbing to the shore where you are. But she also had noted claw marks on the shore.
I knew those spiders had claws.
Yeah, claws
Can
are
I
not something you normally associate with spiders.
Can we examine some of the scraps of material that are caught in the cracks to try to determine what type of creature left?
Which, are you talking about the webbing, or are you talking about the leathery scraps?
The leathery scraps.
Certainly. Do an investigation or a nature check. Or insight. Any of those. Whatever's good for you.
Nissha knows nothing of any of those things.
Does anyone else want to examine the leathery bits?
We're fighters. What do you expect?
Pants will carefully pick up and examine a piece of the leathery bits, and after several minutes of close investigation, look up and announce, "This is not a chicken." Then put it back down.
It's not a chicken.
It is very much not a chicken. Chickens do not make web.
What about Zaleria? Does Zaleria want to look at this stuff at all?
Yeah, Zaleria's gonna check out all the remnants the spider left and see if she can use some of her.
What do you want to use that for?
What do I need to use what for? Sorry.
The webbing.
Oh yeah, the webbing.
The webbing's quite sticky. So you're gonna have you're having problems with your fingers wanting to kind of cling together. If you're careful, you can wad enough up and put it into your pack what your soggy pack as a collectible.
Okay.
Did you want to examine the leather bits as well?
Yes.
I'm examining the leather bits as well.
Zaleria, do a nature check. Are you going to roll, Zaleria?
Sure, what should I roll?
Nature. Or you can do insight.
I'll do nature.
Whatever's best. Oh man. Well, Brighton luckily rolled high enough that he can tell that this does look like the leather hide of a lizard, which could very well belong to an alligator. So there's signs that there has been either both a spider and an alligator in this cave, or I don't know, maybe some kind of spider gator hybrid. You won't know until you find it.
Is there enough leather to make a pair of boots?
No. Smaller fragments. Maybe if you like bunched a whole ton of them together, you could fragment something out of it, but it wouldn't be as strong as a solid piece of alligator hide. So maybe enough for decorating something. Or if you need to patch your raptor mask. Are you guys going to move further into the cave?
Yes.
Kit Kat's like staying kind of back because this is all very disgusting.
It's all disgusting.
Yeah, she does not like animals in the insect or like that creepy crawly variety.
Cave's not her normal
No.
her normal habitat.
Actually.
Keep in mind that you'll need to stay within 20 feet of pants if you want to still be able to see.
Okay. How big are the squares again?
It'll be 4 squares away. So each one's 5 feet.
Okay.
Unless you have dark vision.
One second. Okay, so you've moved far enough in the cave that you can see a wad of webbing at the far left end of this kind of really rounded room outcropping that looks like a body that has basically been enshrouded mummy-like within webbing. This is the victim who is the spider, if there was a spider creature, their last meal. There are webs throughout the cave. You also see signs of crystals and mushrooms and molds where you might be able to gather some natural collectibles here. Or maybe from the crystals an arcane sort of collectible. it's still quite dark, and your view is obstructed by the level of webbing throughout the cave. So adjust yourselves accordingly as you examine. The area right to the right below Brighton is an area of 1 collectible.
I think we should investigate the body. Maybe we'll look out and it's the body of the guy that we have the bounty for. Gift wrapped for us.
All right.
Weren't we supposed to bring him back alive, though?
I thought the bounty was a couple years old.
The bounty was for a bandit. It was dated like 4 years ago, but you don't know really. It might still be open. Because it was issued by the Coin Lords, so chances are somebody who is a very strong headache to the Coin Lords for them to bother issuing a bounty.
Good point.
But the body is in the webbing to the north by the crystal.
So, oh, okay. I would walk over there, but Pants is not near it, so Kit Kat would not be able to.
She's staying close to Pants.
Yeah.
Pants is trying to stay kind of sort of centralized in here so the light spell hits the majority of the room. Kind of like an overhead light.
The light spell is
Swaying
good for
gently.
60 feet.
Yeah, so Pants, where Pants is standing, he illuminates everything except for the corner that the body is in, and there's a corner that mushrooms are in. Those are still somewhat shadowed. But otherwise, you see a fairly good illumination of the cave.
I think we probably should look up. These are spiders. They could be above us.
Everybody, do a perception check.
Right smack dab in.
I'm staring at my light, apparently. We perceive that we are in a cave.
Yeah, nobody's perceiving much of anything except for it's very dark at the fringes of this cave, and there are a lot of spider webs. Anybody want to do anything else? I think Aleran said something about investigating the body.
I think that we should, but I think we probably should deal with whatever threat might be in the room first. But we have to figure out how to determine.
I think we are the threat in the room now.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the same sticky webs as we encountered previously, right?
Yeah, as you entered the tunnel, it looks like the same kind of sticky webs. It's just larger, and the volume, the sheer volume of webs draping from the ceiling and encasing the walls, and basically mummifying the victim in the shadows that you see. It's just the volume, now that you have gotten this deep in the cave, has increased exponentially.
Alexa, turn the volume down. Sorry, I had to.
Should we maybe attempt to light the torches and see if we can add additional light to see if we can see a...
Yeah, you can try to light a torch.
I brought
have
two.
I have my tinder kit.
I'm just going to have you roll a d20, and if you get above 13, it isn't dampened. It's dry enough that you can light it.
Is light really the issue here? I mean, we've got a light source.
You've got a light
No.
source, but there's
Can we
still
burn
two.
the webs?
You could burn the webs. There's still 2 areas that are shadowed, like where the crystal and the body are, and where the mushrooms
Oh, well,
are.
then we'll just walk over to the crystal. Boop.
All right. And when you do that, you've gotten close enough to the body that you hear a chittering sound.
Oh.
And when you look up at that part of the ceiling of the cave, suddenly you see a giant spider on the ceiling of the cave, looking down at you.
I love how Kit Kat backed up.
Roll initiative. All right, that's everybody. Unfortunately, nobody is as fast as the spider. So I want both Zaleria and Pants to roll a d4.
Can I quickly roll? I was unable to roll.
Your initiative?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll your initiative.
There you go.
So the spider is going to attack at this point, and suddenly a bolt of webbing shoots out from the rear of this giant spider, aimed directly at Zaleria.
Gosh.
And suddenly Zaleria finds herself restrained. She's been encased with webbing, and for now she cannot move or attack, but when her turn comes, she's going to be able to make a DC check to see if she can break free.
Cue the Queen music.
Da da da. Well, I'm just checking something. All right. Now it is going to be Nissa's turn.
All right. If Nissha would use her full movement to advance.
This thing's on the ceiling, right?
This thing is on the
and
ceiling,
then attack the spider.
which means the spider is overhead.
Oh, I thought you said it dropped down.
No, it's still clinging to the ceiling. You saw that it was kind of like waving its arms at you, and it made a sound, thereby drawing its attention
she
to itself.
would advance and hold her action then.
All right. Yeah, because this the spider would be like about 10 feet above, so ranged attacks only at this time. Though, like something like if you had reach, an item with reach, you could attack with it if you were standing
like
adjacent.
say a +1 whip.
Like a +1 whip. Does your 2x4?
I heard that.
Does a 2x4 have reach, or is it just like a standard
No.
great weapon?
It's not even a great weapon. It's a single-handed weapon.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't realize that.
No, it has no reach at all.
Hello, DM.
Well, 5 feet, but
Okay, so ranged attacks only for the moment, unless you have a +1 whip.
No, I'm sensing a pattern with these nice little thoughts that keep popping in my head.
So Nissa's holding her action, which means what?
Yeah.
It's Aleran's turn.
Okay, I'm going to turn and shoot at it with my long.
Alrighty. You've rolled damage instead of attack. I'm going to undo that damage for now.
Sorry about that.
That spider is healed.
just drag the big D20 looking thing next to the damage onto the water spider first.
That's what I'm trying to do, and it just keeps.
If you want, you can just drag it to the chat box. All right. That's a hit. So now you can roll damage and apply it to the spider. And you hear a shriek. Yee! And is there any other action you want to take?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So as you shoot the spider, it lets out this screech, this wail of pain. Yee! And when you do that, at least half a dozen baby spiders crawl out of the webbing below.
Ruh-roh.
Answering their mother's call.
Oh, jeez, there's...
Don't forget, spiders can have up to hundreds in their brood.
All right, I think that's all of them. I think. Are there 8 little baby spiders?
Yes.
Well, it says baby
also-
water spider 8.
All right. And I
So-
think I see...
I think I only see 7 on this.
I
There's
lost
Well,
seven.
there's
one.
numbered to 8.
I thought I counted 8 in the combat track.
I think I didn't drag 3 onto the map. Or number 3. Spider number 3.
Is somebody standing on one of them?
Or someone might be standing on one. So we shall see. So at this point, all the little baby spiders appear, kind of crawl out of the webbing, and they start to attack people.
Query.
Yep.
Since Nissha was holding her action until something came in, a hostile came into range, would she be able to take her turn now if she so chose?
I would say that she can.
Excellent. Then she would definitely attack some of the spider adjacent to her.
Yeah, one
As
baby spider
she
1
saw
and
it
baby spider 2.
Looks like 1 to start.
Are you able to roll, because I don't have you highlighted on your turn? Oh, that's definitely a hit.
No, they're kind of tricky to target because they're tiny. Instant death. I like that.
And if that one's splattered, she would rotate on her heel and attack the one behind her, which is number with her secondary attack.
All right, you also hit baby spider too. All right, and you squished baby spider 2 as well. So these aren't too difficult to kill because they're just little babies.
Squish, squish.
So you promptly destroyed 25% of the little baby spiders. But the remaining 6 are going to start attacking people. Baby spider 4 is going to try to get pants. Wait, no, baby spider 3. Where's baby spider 3 again? Baby spider 3 is going to try to get Aleran. And it's going to try to bite him. But it misses. Baby spider 4 is going to try to bite Zaleria. Or no, wait, pants. Where are you, Zaleria?
Webbed.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, she's webbed.
In the webs.
So you are going to get bitten.
Of course.
And I'm going to say, because you're webbed with advantage.
Okay.
Are they radioactive spiders?
If you throw the grappled and restrained condition on her, it'll automatically. Oh my god!
Wait, that wasn't right.
3d20 attack roll.
I didn't mean to do that.
Holy.
Wait, let me do that again.
Whoa.
No, I was
Okay.
just gonna say,
Must
throw the
be,
conditions
Soup
on
or
her.
something if they're not radioactive.
It's still a hit, but I accidentally added a 3rd dice because I didn't see 2 when I rolled with advantage.
This is not looking the best for me in this situation.
So that does it does 1 damage initially, but it also, you need to do a Constitution save.
Okay.
Because those are never ominous words.
You're gonna turn into Spider-Man now.
All right, that's good enough. So you just take the one damage.
Woo!
Yay! No. Well, if you rolled like a 1 and you got like a bunch of points of damage.
Baby spider 5
exactly.
is going to try to take a bite out of Cat.
Oh boy.
But it misses.
Whew.
It's, after all, it's just a baby. It's just a baby spider. Baby spider number 6 is also going to try to take a bite out of Zaleria. And that is a hit. Roll another Constitution save. All right, that was not good enough. So you also receive some poison damage. You're now poisoned. So 4 more damage of poison. Baby spider 7 goes for Brighton. I'm failing to roll on Brighton right now. Okay, that was a miss. So apparently only the baby spiders can't hit anything except for web people, apparently. And the last baby spider is going to go for Aleran. Which is also a miss. So now it is Pants' turn.
So close. It's mine.
All right. Let's see here. We got a whole bunch of spiders next to Zaleria, so let's thin some of those out. Or not at all.
I miss giving... Zaleria should have 6 points of damage. I missed giving her the 1.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
You were waiting for me to catch that?
Yeah.
Sneaky, sneaky. So what is Pants doing again? I'm sorry.
Flailing around with his 2x4 apparently.
Okay, which little are you gonna try for one of the little spiders?
He already did. Yeah,
Oh, you
rolled
did?
a 10 to attack baby spider.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed that. Oh,
Missed.
you missed it. It's because they're so tiny. And yeah, it's still... Oh, Soggy Lumber Edition, because you just got out of the water.
Yep.
So that's
And
the
it's,
saddest 2x4. So it's Kit Kat's turn.
Okay.
Slight player request. At least just for this fight, can we turn the directional arrows off? It's making it kind of difficult to.
Let me see if I can figure out how to do that quickly. But go ahead. Go ahead, Kit Kat.
Okay. That's a... Why do I have 2 daggers? That's questionable.
It's the settings gear down to token GM facing indicator.
Oh man, I was looking in combat.
There we go.
Oh, that's much better.
You know where you're facing.
That's much easier to see now.
So Kit Kat misses her little baby spider because they're so tiny.
Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
My dagger has ammo, but then my rapier isn't showing as a rapier.
Let me look at you. I think the dagger, you have it as a throwing dagger.
Yeah. Or I can change that. Hopefully.
You could probably use them as either. You just would have to redrag dagger to your actions tab.
Yeah, I'm just confused because my rapier was like...
What you'll need to do, it's because you have the whip equipped. So all you have to do is click on your rapier in your inventory page and it will become your active weapon.
There we go. We're all good.
Alright, do you want to end your turn? It'll be Brighton.
End my turn.
All right, I am going to attack baby water spider with my great axe. If I can remember how to attack things.
Yeah, it feels like it's been especially long since we've last gathered, and yet it's only been a month like usual.
Wow.
You have the same dice from last session, Brighton. Are there any bonus actions that you can take?
Yes, passing the turn.
Okay. Passing the turn is a free action. Zaleria, would you like to try to break free of the webbing?
Absolutely.
Okay, do a strength check. And you struggle, but you are not able to break yourself free this turn.
Oh, man.
So, it's now Izzy's turn.
What's Izzy gonna do?
Izzy is going to try... In fact, I think Izzy is going to run over to Zaleria, assuming she can move that far. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She can. And she is going to use her turn to cut Zaleria free. And that will be her turn.
With a knitting needle?
She has daggers
I went and told her
too.
what no, she wants you to use the knitting needle.
Oh, she could totally use the knitting needle. She's got a hook, like she's got hook ends on some of them, so they would be good because they're for like ripping out threads and stuff like that, or loose threads and things like that.
So
Catching
like
loops.
a hunting zipper knife?
Mm-hmm. So she can easily use the hook end to just, jerk through the webbing. She's going to have to really wash these things before she knits again, though, because it's going to have all this spider web goop stuck clinging to them. But Zaleria is free for now.
I am sure Izzy has far more than one set of knitting needles.
Yeah, she's got at least 2 in her hair alone.
I can ask the mother how many Izzy has of knitting.
So the water spider takes this opportunity to shoot another web, this time at, let's see, roll a d4, Nissha, Zaleria, and Pants. The highest is going to get it. Okay, so Nissha is going to be the target this time. All right, and she misses Nissha. So it's now Nissa's turn.
Sorry. I'm going to advance or move. And attack baby spider 5. If it'll let me.
Okay, baby spider 5 is dead.
I'm just going to use her bonus attack on baby spider 7. No, that damn Warforged is in the way.
Sorry.
All right. Okay, you can end your turn unless there's a bonus action you would like to use.
Nope.
Okay, so Aleran.
May I use intimidation in order to try to get the attention of some of the spiders so that maybe they leave Zaleria alone until she gets...
Wait, do we have an intimidation?
I do.
Oh. Tell me more about this feature.
I don't know. It's a skill. I'm going to yell and scream and try to make them all look at me and make myself look like a bigger threat than other members of the party.
Are there any guidelines for any
I'm not sure. When I click the little shield, it comes up and gives me an error message that it says something about the unable to open window using wildcard link.
All right. I have intimidation also, so I'll tell you what it says for me. It says,
Okay.
when you attempt to influence someone through overt threats, hostile actions, and physical violence, the DM might ask you to make a charisma intimidation check. Examples include trying to pry information out of a prisoner, convincing street thugs to back down from a confrontation, or using the edge of a broken bottle to convince a sneering vizier to reconsider a decision.
I'm being dumb. I wasn't
Okay, so
thinking about it
complete-
being the skill that you're using. I was thinking about it being an actual ability. Yeah, do an intimidation check on your skill. Okay, you absolutely draw some spiders to you. So I'm going to say the baby water spider moves toward you, allowing an attack of opportunity from Nissha and Pants. And I'm going to adjust where you are slightly.
Okay.
I'm going to say that 6 and 4 don't move just because there's not really a good place for them to go that makes as much sense, that makes them really closer. So,
Okay.
Nissha and Pants, let's see. Nissha, you go first since you're first initiative order and take your attack of opportunity. Against baby spider number 7. And that's a dead spider. I'm pretty sure that all Nissha has to do is hit a spider and they're instantly dead. So unless you have a bonus action, Aleran, I'm going to say that's your turn.
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
Okay. Baby Spider 3 gets a chance to attack something. Aleran and Zaleria roll a d4, and I'm going to roll one for Izzy. Lowest is going to get attacked. Okay, so it's Aleran. Oh, and that's a miss. Baby Spider 4. Zaleria and Pants, both of you roll a d4. Lowest will get hit. Or attacked.
Yay, maybe I'll get attacked.
Wait,
Don't-
we're all rolling d4s?
No, just Zaleria and Pants, because you're the ones who are equal distance from the spider.
Okay.
Okay, so Pants does get attacked. It tries to bite Pants. But it misses. Aw.
hate magnets.
Again, Pants and Zaleria roll high this time. Will get attacked. Roll another d4, Zaleria. Okay, so Zaleria gets attacked. But it's a miss. On to Baby Spider 8. This time, oh my gosh. Let's have Brighton and Aleran roll. The D4 is high number gets attacked.
Bring it.
And it's a miss against Brighton as well. These baby spiders just can't get you unless you are trapped in the webbing. So now it's Pants' turn.
I would like to look at baby spider number 6 and take my soggy 2x4 and hit it upside the head. I would like to, but I didn't, and that's all I have to say about that.
Its head is very small. And unfortunately, your 2x4 does not land where that little spider is darting around the floor of the cave. Kit Kat!
Just move in there. But that did not roll on one of them. That's interesting. Try. All the rest of those rolls were like 18 and stuff, but this will work.
You still hit. Alrighty, and you have destroyed a little baby water spider as well.
Sweet.
Do you have any bonus actions you would like to do?
I don't have any bonus actions, so I think that.
Alright. Do you want to end your turn, or do you want me to do it?
I'll do it.
It is Brighton's turn.
Advancing. Then I'm going to swing at number 3. Wow.
I think you should change the color of your dice, Brighton. They've been
Just
really
thinking that.
they've been treating you dirty for like a full session now.
Oh, it's time for them to be brown, though. They're dirty dice.
They're dirty dice, poop dice.
But do they like being called dirty dice?
I hope they like it. Maybe you'll get some hits. Zaleria, you are free. What do you do?
Okay, let me think about this. Okay, can I ask the party, just their opinion?
Very briefly.
Alright, so I have a speak with animals spell, and I'm just thinking, do we think this is gonna work, or is the spider just gonna keep attacking us?
Do they have to have a certain intelligence level to use that?
No, not really per se. Like the spell will give her the ability to communicate at least on their level. So say if it's a not very intelligent creature, you would still be able to communicate, but you might not get verbose sentences. But you have to ask yourself, is this a point in time after you have killed 5 babies that the spider is going to want to negotiate with you?
Yeah, okay, so scratch that idea. Okay. So with the Hunter's Mark, it's a bonus action. So can I attack and then use Hunter's Mark, or is it the
Other way around.
Okay.
Yeah, you can Hunter's Mark and then attack, yeah.
Alright, that's what I'll do. I'll do Hunter's Mark and then,
And I'm just updating damage on the water spider because for some reason it got marked off the damage that Aleran did earlier. All right. Oops, you attacked Pants instead of a spider.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
If you want to attack Pants, you have hit him.
Sorry, what'd you say?
If you want to continue attacking Pants, that was a hit. Otherwise, you need to roll against a new target.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, she is using a ranged attack while a hostile creature is within 5 feet, so she has to roll that attack against me with disadvantage. Just saying. If she's going to shoot me anyway, I'm going to make sure that, the proper rules are followed.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Before I get shot in the head.
And do we get to roll whether that increases Pants' intelligence? Or...
No. We don't. And it looks like your attack against the water spider was a miss. Wah wah. But that hunter's mark lasts for what, 10 rounds?
It just is 1 hour, so.
Okay, so way more than 10 rounds. So for the rest of this battle, you will have bonus damage against the water spider if you hit.
Unless she gets her concentration broken.
Unless she gets her concentration broken.
Pants, don't do anything.
Same team, man, same side.
I'm going to say if you get more than 50% of your hit points taken away, your concentration is going to be broken. But just getting damage is not going to count.
There's actual concentration rules.
I think there are.
Yeah, it's basically anytime she gets hit, the DC is half the amount of damage she's taken, or 10, whichever's higher, and it's a Constitution save. So, like, if she gets bit for 1 point of damage, it's DC 10, but if she gets bit for, 25 points of damage, then it's going to be, 14 or 13.
All right.
Okay, well, sounds cool. Alright, I'm gonna pass my turn then now.
Sounds cool. That's your turn.
Yep.
What is Izzy going to do? Izzy is going to go to the oldie Sacred Flame. And she is going to Sacred Flame the mama spider. Because these little baby spiders don't seem to be much of a problem. It just takes one squish and they're gone. So she's going to aim for the big bad. But unfortunately, the spider succeeded on its save against Sacred Flame, and so there was no bolt of light came down from the heavens, through the earth, into this cave. Alrighty. Wonder of wonders. The giant water spider has seen the action unfold before her. She's seen more of her offspring being crushed by these intruders into her lair. And she feels a surge of abilities. And she is going to throw another web. I want Nissha and Pants and Zaleria to all roll a d4. Highest will get
I volunteer
attacked.
as tribute.
You get your wish,
work.
Pants. You get your wish.
negative impact to the combat round. So hey,
And
go
you
ahead.
are webbed. Pants is encased in a sticky shroud of webbing. So you can have fun with that later. Nissha, it is your turn.
All right, Nissha is going to move around the enshrouded pants and attack baby spider number. And if she misses that, she's going to attack with her bonus.
That's definitely successful. And you have taken out another baby spider. Splat. Ah!
All
Aleran.
right. I am going to attack with my longbow and attack the mama spider.
That is a hit. 15. Why did it subtract from your damage on your longbow?
If he has
Because he has adjacent.
negative dex modifier. Oh no, that should have been disadvantage on the attack roll. But if his dex modifier is negative,
Yeah, it's the damage is listed as 1d8 minus 1.
unless the water spider has a restriction or resistance to piercing damage.
Let me look at the water
I think
spider.
my -1 is always there though, so it may be something. Let's see, my dex
What's your
modifier is
dex?
Oh, it is your dex modifier.
Okay.
And I'm not going to make you re-roll that with disadvantage. Let's just say it's the 2 damage that happened.
It was sad enough it didn't need disadvantage.
We can spare 2 damage.
And I'm going to use my action surge
Okay.
and attack baby spider number.
Number 3. And that is a crit hit. Another baby spider bites the dust. Squish. So that is your turn. Do you want to move any before you're done?
Actually, yes. Let's move a little closer to the mama spider.
And that means baby water spider. Probably everybody roll a d4. No, roll a d8. We'll see who the baby spider tries to bite. Just Zaleria, roll a d8. Zaleria, are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
Roll a d8. Okay. Have a roll off between Kit Kats and Brighton. Highest gets
boy.
attacked.
Oh, great.
Okay, so that's Kit Kat gets the last little nibble. But that's a miss. All that, and it was a miss. Now it's
All
Pants'
that
turn.
in a bag of miss.
All that in a bag of miss. Pants, it's your turn.
All right. may I make an athletics check in an attempt to break out of the webbing on my own?
Yes, you may.
I'm going to Hulk smash.
And you are successful.
All right. Blah! Break out of the webbing. And yeah, that's it.
Wasn't that fun?
I was amazing on this battle.
Do you have any bonus action that you would like to use?
What the heck? Since I get it back on is it a short rest? I think it's a short
rest. You
Let
do.
me double check.
If you're talking about action surge.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was. Is it short?
Yes.
Yeah, short or long rest. Okay, then yes. At this point, I will burn an action surge since what the heck, and get right side up. Let me get rid of. Get rid of grappled and restrained there, and then take my 2x4 and try and smash baby water spider 6 and see if I can actually do something this combat. Hey, that'll work.
You do something. The 16 hit.
Take a 2x4 and bring it straight down on the spider's head.
Squish.
You are not a chicken.
All the non-chickens that are babies are gone. Only the mama remains right now.
Oh, and that's my turn.
So Kit Kat, it's you and the giant water spider mommy. What do you do?
I was attacked, wasn't I? Oh wait, I missed. Okay.
Yeah, the little spider missed you, yeah.
So she can move here. Let's try the wowie. Yeah. Okay, or not. Sad.
Alrighty. You don't have any bonus actions you want to do?
I don't have any bonus actions.
Any other movements you wanted to do? Because you should have had probably a little bit more. You could move closer. You can move farther away.
Take a step back.
Alrighty. Brighton.
All right, I am going to step forward and grab one of my javelins and throw it at Mama. Shoot. I forgot to do it over the spider.
But it is a hit, your attack. So just roll the damage on the spider. Squee!
And the second wave of baby spiders comes out of the floor. Sorry, same team.
The water spider did not like that. And with that, she is starting to look seriously wounded, and she collapses down from the ceiling of the cave, drops by her webbing, and lands on the floor of the cave. So now she is no longer a ranged target like Nissha and Aleran. Do you have any bonus actions that you would like to do, or any movement you would like to make, Brighton?
No, that's in turn.
Alrighty. Zaleria, your turn.
Okie doke.
All right, a 19 is a hit. So you do 11 damage, but you also get to do your additional 6d6 from your... Oh wait, I think that got affected. That got
looks like that's already in there.
Yeah, it got added
Yeah.
automatically. All right, so with your Hunter's Mark, you do a total of 11 damage against the water spider.
Although, why does it say expired? Hunter's Mark doesn't expire. At least not on hit.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing expired. But we're going to ignore why it says that. The water spider is beginning to look quite bloodied. Do you have any bonus actions that you can do, Zaleria, or any movement you want to make?
I think I'll just... You know what? I might go ahead and use the healing potion that I brought with me, just because I'm pretty low.
The way I do it is drinking that potion is not a bonus action. It's going to take a full action.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just wait till next turn.
All right. Izzy is going to do Ye Olde Sacred Flame. Which the spider fails, so that does... Oh, crap. That actually sizzles the spider with enough damage that it flips over and its legs are in the air. In retrospect, I probably should have healed someone instead of doing Sacred Flame. So the giant water spider is dead. You see this large husk in front of you. It's lying on top of a large amount of webbing. You also see that other body encased before you of the spider's last victim. Surrounding you, there are all the little myriad tiny baby spider husks that you have squashed over the course of this battle. What do you want to do? You see that the body appears to have a pack with it.
Let's inspect the body and see if we can cut away the web.
Everybody do... You're out of combat now. Everybody...
Okay.
You can do some kind of investigation or an insight check or perception while looking at the body to see what you observe.
Wait, you said investigation or perception?
Yeah, you can do investigation, insight, or perception. Okay, so several of you have picked out many things about this body. What you can tell from its height and the remaining pieces of cartilage that make up its nose and its ears, as well as the amount of hair on this desiccated, drained body, you believe it was a hobgoblin. The hobgoblin, its clothing, its gear, seems to be akin to a scout, a ranger of some sort. They're wearing studded leather armor that seems to be in one piece still. And you find on them several different items. Which I'm going to drag over to your party sheet. So you find an amber vial collectible. You find 2 beaver pelts. You find a mysterious purple alloy battle axe. You find a caravan logbook. You find some daggers, a light crossbow, some bolts. You find the aforementioned studded leather that the dead bugbear is wearing. I said hobgoblin, but I meant bugbear. Lies. They're all lies.
Well, see, the important thing is one of them, the bugbear, is cute, and the hobgoblin is not. So, very, very important distinction to make.
Well, now you're looking at a corpse that's been drained of all its fluids, so it's kind of like shriveled. In the driest, most desiccated form that a bugbear can make. So it's just this kind of like furry, raisin-like, pruny thing, kind of encased in webbing. Also, among the dead bugbear hunter's things, you find a map and a journal. Upon examination, you realize that this aged and stained map is not ink scribed upon parchment, but it's cured, tattooed skin of a humanoid variety. Somebody paid dearly to part with its secrets.
So someone tattooed a map on themselves and then got
it cut, got it skinned off of them.
Okay, just making sure I heard that right.
And this bugbear was carrying it with them. They also have a journal that is written in Goblinoid, but I believe there are a couple people in the party who speak Goblinoid who could read it. And you could examine the map further if you want to.
I want to examine the map.
All right, do a nature or insight check. Or let me look at any other skills that would conceivably apply. Nah, just nature or insight. Maybe survival if that's higher for you. Uh-oh. Everybody got done for the session. Am I still in Discord?
I feel like...
Okay, my internet is having a blurb.
And we're reconnected, or at least I am.
Me too. And it
Sorry.
took up my second roll.
That was my internet hiccuping.
Oh, jeez.
Does anyone else want to roll a nature or what did I say? I said insight or nature or survival, whatever is best.
Pants is just awkwardly staring at the map.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's no amount of insight that Pants could have about this map.
Not in the slightest.
I mean, there's one thing he could probably figure out if he looks at it.
It's not chicken.
Well, what other thing other than that from his experience?
Yeah, he's just gonna stare at it creepily and...
Aleran did not roll high enough to pick up further details on it. But if someone else in the party wants to roll and check and see if they recognize something about this map.
The dumb halfling will take a look.
And Nissha would like to read the writing.
And I would say that, actually, Aleran, you can roll again, because I would say that everybody except for Izzy and Kit Kat should have advantage on that roll. Poor Brighton. Why do your dice
Poor
hate
ghost.
you?
I changed the color.
I know, they don't like you anymore. It's like
They're brown.
dice with a grudge. Alright, so Nissha and Aleran have totally figured something out about the map at this point. Zaleria, do you want to roll?
Yeah, sure. Well,
I think I'll try.
You can roll Kit Kat, you just don't have advantage.
No, I don't.
Well, we'll say that Aleran and Nissha, because they have sailed that way before several times recently, they recognize that this map is of an island that is precisely centered between Zendrick, the elven homeland of Tairnadal, and the hobgoblin nation of Dargoon. The island appears to be surrounded by a treacherous barrier of coral reef, and what's more, they can pick out that a small island detailed on the map is Korthos, and it would probably be 3 or 4 days sail away from this island that is depicted in the center of the map.
Interesting.
Now, who in the party can read Goblinoid? I think it's Zaleria and Nissha? And maybe Kit Kat?
Yeah, Kit Kat can speak Goblin.
Okay, yeah, Kit Kat, Nissha, and Zaleria can all read Goblinoid. So if you read the journal,
Kit Kat will read the journal.
does anyone else want to read it?
sure. I don't have an issue with that.
Yes.
Well, I just assumed she was kind of reading it out loud to us.
Okay,
In Goblinoid.
in Goblinoid.
Yeah.
Or at least giving us the Cliff Notes translation thereof.
I'm going to just, well, okay, I'll read it aloud to you, and then I'll drag it to chat. The first entry that's of note says, "When Master Thar sent me on the mission to Tairnadal to follow the rumors of the first tribe, I believed it was punishment for failing to retrieve the Tear of Dakan from the Arzag core. A death sentence surely, though in an honorable cause. How unwelcome a victory now that I am the only survivor." And then the second entry says, "I have struggled to find the words to explain my discovery to Master Thar, but he knows of the map now, at least. He dares to buy secrets from the Fierlarn elves, thinking only of the battle against the Lesh Harak to come. How do I make him see the Tairnadal will not let my theft go unanswered? How do I explain their fear? The eyes of the dead and undying are everywhere. The search for the first tribe matters, for the Dakani Empire was born of their blood. But if this is only a question of ancestors' footsteps, why do the elves hide the path? Why would they kill for it?"
Ooh.
And I'm dragging, that's the first entry. I was going to drag the second entry, but apparently I'm bad at dragging. There's the second entry. Now, when you read these words, Nissha, you feel this sudden alertness, a sudden interest come from your bond with Isobel Stardance. You don't feel these sensations very often, except for when you had that restlessness to leave Valinar. But as you read these words, you feel her interest. You feel that the words First Tribe and something to do with the Dakani Empire actually is of interest to her.
These items, the map and the journal, I believe that they need to come with me.
All right, so you want to take control of those things?
Oh yeah.
Does anyone
But
want to
she would
argue
be telling
about
this to the party.
does Nissha just pick them up and tuck them into her pack? I'm bringing them with me.
Oh no, if
She,
someone
like,
else is holding
picks
them,
it-
she wouldn't do
picks them
that.
up.
But she'd make very, very clear that she feels strongly about, Isabel making something known to her, and these items are important to her journey.
Does anyone else want to lay claim to them?
Nope, still staring at the map.
Okay. I'm going to drag the map into your inventory, Nissha.
Wait. No. Oh, Nissa's inventory. Okay. Oof.
Yeah. Nissa's inventory. She has the map now. Now, among the things that were with the bugbear's corpse, you found like some miscellaneous little loot things like a beaver pelt and a caravan logbook kind of thing. Some studded leather that you could take. You also found a battle axe that looks somewhat exceptional as far as battle axes go. It is made out of some form of alloy that has a faint purplish tinge. Does anyone want to see if they can identify this, or do you want to just leave it there? Or does anyone want to take it with you and add it to your stuff, the weight of things that you're carrying? And is there anything else in this cave that you want to take? You could get collectibles out of here if you wanted to.
If no one else wants, I'll take the axe.
Yeah.
I would think Brighton might want it.
Well, it's a
No.
single-handed axe, and he's using a great
Oh.
axe.
Okay.
Does anyone else?
Can I look at it and see if I can identify it?
Sure. You can do like an Arcana. Or History. All right, that actually is good enough. Wow. You recognize from your familiarity with weapons that you think this is probably, I'm probably not going to say it right, but a Byesk weapon.
Okay.
And I removed the hidden part, so you should be able to see what that is now. These are known to be forged by hobgoblins and orcs. They're often wielded by people associated with Dargoon or there's lots of stories about the Dakani Empire use these weapons in their fight against the Delkir. And most of this kind of ore comes from the area now known as the country of Drowan. So I will drag that over to your inventory, Aleran.
Okay.
Now, does anyone else want to take anything, any collectibles, etc., before you potentially move on from this cave? Because at this point, whatever, if you look at your party sheet inventory, whatever you don't take and we don't put into inventory now, I'm going to assume is left behind in the cave.
I would like to go over to the crystals and grab a collectible.
Alrighty. Roll a percentile die. You find a sparkling dust.
I'm gonna take the beaver pelts.
Was that Brighton?
Yes, that was Brighton.
Bear with me a second. I have to open up a lot of windows right now. I'm going to go ahead and drag it over to your inventory.
Also, another question while you're opening up windows. Is the quartz shiny?
The quartz is very shiny.
I would like to also take the quartz. I'm going to end up with a backpack full of completely useless and random obscure items, and I'm okay with that.
Did you already add quartz to yourself?
I did. I took it
Oh, I
from the
see.
parcels.
I saw that now. And oh, I forgot. I just remembered what I forgot to put on your inventory. Oh, you already got your sparkling dust too. Awesome. Okay, did anyone else loot any collectibles?
Looks like there's still a beaver pelt left up.
Yeah, but I already
Brighton
dragged
wants to
two
get
over
that.
to Brighton's inventory.
Oh, okay.
So I think that was a dragging mistake on my part.
You crossed the dragging stream.
Does anyone want the Amber Vial or Caravan logbook that are here?
I'm gonna.
Or the page torn
If
from
no one
research?
else is gonna yank it, then
Because those are all
I'm gonna
collectibles.
yank that.
I'm good.
Okay, so no one else is taking collectibles. And if that's the case, I'm going to empty what is here in your parcel item inventory.
Wait. Before she does that, someone who understands the value of gems. There's a moonstone in there too.
No one's taking the crossbow, right?
No.
No.
I probably would take the crossbow bolts and one of the daggers though.
Well, give yourself, I think it was 14.
13.
13.
And on Pants's advice, I will take the moonstone if no one wants it.
Well, that was player advice. That was the meta pigeon. Because he certainly doesn't understand the value of gems. Yeah. It's rock and some rocks sparkle.
They're little gems. It's portable money.
Okay. Yeah, the moonstone and the citron.
And I will drag a dagger over to Nissha.
And Pants has a handful of these flat, shiny discs. You know, they're there.
Does anyone want the caravan logbook?
If no one's going to take it, I will shove it in my collectibles
Let's
bag.
fill up that bag.
Your TR cache is empty.
Let me close some of these windows. You have examined the body fully. You have defeated the spider. You can now head back to the Braza farm.
Do we need to, like, bring part of the spider as proof that we killed it?
Yeah, if you want to. You can bring the head. The head is very small in comparison to the rest of its thorax and body.
Let's be utterly morbid. Pants will go over to the spider's body, grab one of the fangs, which given the size of the spider is probably the size of his forearm, and take his 2x4 and beat it at the joint until it cracks and rips off, all dripping goo everywhere, and hold it going, I have proof.
Fortunately, this goo is not caustic like that of a giant wasp. It might be a little bit poisonous, but Pants doesn't care.
Not really, no. I have proof of our spider kill.
Alrighty. So you guys are free to leave the cave. I'm assuming
Maybe we should
that
take a minute and investigate the rest of the cave, make sure there's no dark corners or anything we've...
you've seen everything that there is in this cave. So really the only other thing you can do is people who have not gathered collectibles could gather collectibles from like the mushroom or the crystal or the slime. Otherwise, you have gone through the webbing, cut away as much as you could, fully examined the dead hunter's body.
Okay.
You've looked over the fallen bodies of the baby spiders and the giant water spider mother. Queen, I guess, is what it would be, a spider queen. So I'd say you have given a thorough examination to the contents of this cave. And at this point, it's basically you've taken everything that everyone has said that they want to take.
Okay.
So there's nothing to do but pile up Pants with your gear and make a go at swimming back to the surface.
We just walk over to Aleran and kind of point at his chainmail and go, okay, now strip down, and have his hands held out like, give me your clothes.
All right, I take off my armor and hand it to Pants.
Nissha, do you want to give your armor to the Warforged as well?
No, I will wear my armor.
All right. So you're the only one who's going to have to make a strength check to swim to the surface.
Such are the sacrifices I make.
Oh, I guess Pants does too. Either that or he's going to have to gradually climb.
Well, I'm climbing. Yeah,
Okay.
he's climbing back up.
Alrighty.
It's easier than swimming for him.
So Nissha, just do a strength check. I'm not going to bother with the other map unless you fail. But you didn't. You were successful. You're both successful. It's tremendous. So I'm going to move you back to the farm map. So I can reshare, or if you want to go to the images maps button on the right, it is Braza Farm 2000X.
Hand Aleran back his armor.
And you find Jal Zindalo there with your stuff. It's all safe.
All right, and I'm going to redress and repack my backpack and prepare to be ready to go.
Now, you can go back to the farm at this point and talk to Nash Braza. Or you could do something else if you feel like you want to do something else.
Wasn't there some kind of reward or favor from the tall oaks for killing the water spiders?
Well, no. The tall oaks, their reward was for rescuing Tall Oak, Stoutfield. And that reward stuff is waiting for you when you go back to Willowdale at the tavern. But Nash, Braza, the farmer, For killing the spider, he's going to let you talk to his little son Bobby, and Bobby's going to relate to you what he saw when he witnessed El Lagarto.
Well, looks like we're gonna go talk to this child.
Well,
You know,
since he's got a lead, and that's the only real lead we have.
Though in that cave, remember, you did see pieces of leather, and Zaleria saw claw marks on the shore, and there is dried blood that she spotted on the shore where you are right now as well. So you do know that at some point, it seems like a very large alligator was at this spot.
But the claw marks looked like it was getting out, so it looks more like the alligator went in there for a nap, found the spider who was like, hey, get out of my house, and bit him, and then the alligator was like, deuces, and bolted out.
Okay.
That's the story Pants is weaving into his own head, which means it's probably wrong.
Okay, so if you guys want to head, if you want to move yourself back up north
Before we get
the farm.
At some point between the shore and the farm, Pants will hand Kit Kat the fang to present as evidence.
why, thank you.
I guess unless you want him to carry it and just like hold it up like an idiot with a trophy, which he could do.
Oh gosh, that kid looks so bored.
He's a
It
waif.
looks almost like the pajama day meme.
Yeah.
It's Bobby Braza. He is a 6-year-old waif, and he's with his dad, his da.
Wait, you know what it is? It's Anakin from episode 1.
Is it Anakin?
No, but it looks like Anakin, you know, just that my soul is dead.
I
It
don't
kinda
want
does
to
look like-
be here.
Well, take into consideration, like in recent months, orcs attacked the farm and set the house on fire, killed many of their animals. You can see that there's still a burnt hole in the roof. The orcs also killed his mother, and apparently he was witness to an attack from a lagarto. There's been this giant spider terrorizing the farm. So the kid has had some experiences, and he's only 6.
I'm not surprised if he has like some.
So it's no surprise he's not happy in singing songs.
So, wait, does that mean Wheezy is Wheezy because of smoke inhalation?
That's possible. Lung damage could have occurred, but you know, she didn't get killed like the dogs or, you know, some of the other farm animals.
I'm trying to get my token the same size as everyone else, and now I have this three little bears thing going on. I either get too small or too big.
But not just right.
Well, I guess that's close to just right. Yeah, okay. So I'll just stand next to Kit Kat holding this. Well, it's no longer gloopy, I guess, since we went through the river, but...
Notch Braza spots what you're holding in your hand, and he's like, is that part of the spider? Did you kill it?
Yes, we did. And many of its children.
He looks heartily relieved. Tremendously relieved. He's like, that's one thing more I don't have to worry about threatening my family. Thank you. And with the 25 gold the brothers have given me, I can repair the roof. So this is enough that he feels like that they'll be able to get by. And he's willing to let you talk to Bobby about what Bobby saw. So he introduces his son Bobby, and he says to Bobby, now these are adventurers, these are heroes who are trying to catch the alligator for Lord Zindalo. And then he looks to you guys to introduce yourselves to Bobby and ask him any questions that you want to.
What questions should I ask the chat? Good talk. Good talk.
We should probably ask him about his attack he witnessed and where the alligator came from and where it went.
How about everybody? What is everybody's kind of demeanor at this point? Are you all
Oh,
just...
I can hold on. I have this already prepared. Hold on. Did it in advance. Oh, that's perfect.
So
did you fail at standing around awkwardly?
He's standing around extremely awkwardly.
Rolled a 1 on my standing around awkwardly.
Maybe you tripped over your own
just kind
feet.
of holding out this spider fang, like I don't know what to do now.
Bobby points at Pants and he laughs because you look funny. He's not used to seeing Warforged, and he just thinks you're just the funniest weirdo thing that he has seen this past month. And he giggles.
Take the advantage and go with it. Roll with it.
He's like, hey, Dad, look at that funny box man.
A box man.
How about everybody else? Like Nissha, what are you doing when presented with this child?
Nothing.
You're just staring at him?
So, I guess I'm gonna ask, Bobby, where did you see the El Legato attack? Like near, far away from here?
He points out an arm to the south toward the bank where you just came from. And he
right
says,
where we were seeing.
He says it was down by the water.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
I don't know, it was a couple weeks.
Okay.
What's Brighton doing when you guys are presented with a small child who's about your height?
Trying to figure out what the kid... Well, so Brighton's actually going to say, all right, look, what did you see? What exactly happened? Start at the beginning of the story and take us all the way through the...
Do a charisma check. Bobby's kind of squinting at you, Brighton. And he looks at you, and because you're about the same height as he is, and because you're not being deliberately scary, I'm assuming that if you are wearing your mask right now, he thinks it's really cool. That he sees this like kind of raptor mask with like the skull bone of the raptor, and he's like, oh, that's so awesome. So his face brightens up, and he scratches his head, and he kind of squints a little bit, and he starts to talk. And as he starts to talk, the words just keep flowing and flowing and building and building until he's just all of a sudden spurting out a chain of words about what he saw and experienced. And he says, one of the cows I call Moo, you know, because she moves a lot. Moo saw a stranger walking by the river and started walking towards him. I don't know who he was. He was extra furry like my stuffed owlbear Hoodles. He He was tall like an orc, but he wasn't an orc. That says when I see orcs, I'm supposed to run away, but he wasn't an orc, so I didn't run away. He looked like a hunter headed upriver. He saw us and he waved at me and Mumu, so he must have been nice. But then a big white gator jumped out of the river at him. Bobby pauses to take a breath, showing that he's still a bit scared. Then he continues. He tried to draw the axe I saw in his belt, but the gator was too fast and it clamped its teeth around him and tossed him into the river. I was scared and I didn't move, but Mumu tried to run back to me and it saw her and it chased her. It grabbed Mumu in its mouth right in front of me and it looked around for more, but I didn't move. Then the gator walked into the swamp with Mumu in its jaws. Sweating, the boy finishes, pointing south again. The swamp is to the south across the river.
Okay.
That was effective.
So, in synopsis, what did
I'm gonna
you
drag it. I'm gonna drag all that wall of text over. But in synopsis, Bobby was down by the river with his cow Mumu, and he saw a hunter down there.
Mumu was the cow.
Mumu is the cow. He saw a bugbear hunter. It was the bugbear that you'd found in the spider's cave earlier. And at that point in time, the bugbear was still alive and waved to him, just saying hi. The alligator jumped out of the river at that point, possibly just as it was crawling out of the cave, attacked both the hunter and Mumu, left the hunter for dead, and dragged Mumu off. Apparently, at some point after that, the spider got the hunter's body and took it down into the cave.
Interesting.
The alligator is large enough that it can carry a full-grown cow easily in its jaws.
That's pretty big.
Across a river.
Across a river.
How much are we getting paid for this?
Maybe we go for the. Oh, hold on. Trying to translate that to Warforged comp.
There's the
Yeah, he
second
continues standing
Voltex.
around awkwardly.
How much are you getting paid for this? I seem to remember it's something like 100 gold per head if you bring the head of the alligator back.
It's 100 gold apiece to slay the albino El Gagarto and a flat 500 GP to bring the head back. Double if we bring it back alive.
Yeah, if you bring it back alive, it was House Vadalis, a house known for its wrangling of exotic creatures and animals, who would likely pay you double if you brought such a creature back.
On a side note, House Vadalis has a really hot cloak in DDO right now.
They do. It is so sweet and on point. So with this information, are there any other questions, anything else you would like to ask Bobby about the alligator that he saw?
So it was by the river where it dragged it. It had got the guy and the cat.
Yeah. And if you go back to where you were by the shore when you dove in to go to the cave in the water, he says the swamp that the alligator escaped to is across the river there. That's where the swamp begins.
Ah.
And actually, if you scroll down the map, you can see Izzy's still there. You can kind of see how the layout is. There are some very large rocks once you get about halfway across the river that one could climb between if you wanted to swim across the river. The same kind of rules are going to apply about whether or not you have to do a strength check to see if you sink below the surface of the water or if you can swim successfully to the rocks.
Or
So
you could just
Nissha
put
would-
everything in a bag and tie a rope to it, and then
Yeah.
tie it around me, and I could just walk up.
Yeah, you can put everything in a bag, tie it to pants. There's also a small rowboat available that belongs to the Brazos that you could maybe pay him a couple gold for the use of that boat.
Okay.
That would be Nissa's preference.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with swimming right now.
We should probably take a rest before we go any further, I would think. Kind of reset things.
At least a short one, bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can easily take a short rest. It is probably about noon now. The afternoon is starting. If you take a long rest, it will be nighttime.
Yeah, we do not want to go poking around in a swamp in the middle of the night.
I think a short rest would be, and Nissha would then be able to remove her splint mail and start drying it off before it begins to rust.
Unless anyone expresses protest, I will give you all a short rest now.
I'm not processing.
I shall not protest.
All right, you are short rested.
Did Zaleria want to use any of her hit die while she's resting?
What does that mean exactly?
If you spend a hit die, you can roll that on yourself to get some healing back.
That sounds like pretty good idea.
You could also eat your 2 mystical dried fish, and that will give you 2 hit points.
I think I might do that because I don't want them to spoil. Like, I might as well use them.
Okay. So you can give yourself back 2 hit points, and if you want to do hit die, you can roll one of those dice and give yourself back that number of hit points.
Okay, so what dice do I roll?
It's on the front
your
page
front
of your
page?
character sheet. At the very bottom center, yeah.
Yeah. So bam,
Yeah.
you are back to max. Alrighty. So, if the assumption is you're all going to use the little rowboat,
Yes.
and if you give Nash Braza a couple gold, he'll be happy to let you use that rowboat for whatever.
DM query.
Uh-huh.
How big is this rowboat?
It is plenty big enough for 6 people. So, one person's probably going to have to make it their own way across the river, and I'm assuming that's going to be you, Pants.
Or we just split the party and do 2 trips across the river and take
That-
everyone.
Well, I'm just
2
saying
trips will be
pants kinda
easy.
counts as, well, just saying pants kind of counts as like 2.5 people.
Pants could just walk down one side of the riverbank and up to the rocks and get across that way if you're willing to wait for him to do it.
I'll go get started while they're negotiating with
From the time
the
it'll take for
Brazos.
you to go get the rowboat and row it down to this part of the river and then get to the swamp part,
I'll just get on the other side of the bank and just sit down and wait.
he'll rendezvous with you by the lily pads. And with that, I'm going to share some stuff, some more pics. This was just like the pic from beloved DDO. Heading into the swamp, because at this point you're going to have to proceed by foot pretty soon because it's just a little bit too shallow to take the rowboat much further. The water varies from being small pools to being just muck, and it ranges from being ankle deep to waist deep.
But do we have to watch out for wandering Gruul tribe orcs?
Who knows?
Is that from Tangleroot?
Is that from Dungeons and Dragons?
That's from the captives.
Online?
That is from Dungeons and Dragons Online. That is from the captives in the Cerulean Hills, which is coincidentally the general area you're in right now. All right, I'm going to move you to the swamp map. And you can close out the Braza farm for now. And of course, I didn't drag you so that anybody is aligned with the grid. All right. So once you've disembarked,
there we go. Resized and aligned.
Once you've disembarked from the rowboat, the squishy ground of the outlying reaches of the swamp quickly turns into sticky, calf-deep muck the farther you travel south. Thick swarms of mosquitoes and biting flies oscillate in the air. At times, the mud becomes waist-deep pockets of clouded water. Who knows what lies within? A short distance from the farmstead, you begin to see additional signs of the giant alligator's passage. Pants, when you crossed the river, once you got to the rocks, you could see, staining the rocks, large blood stains and small fragments of gore. Though little remains, you stumble now upon the mauled bones and rotting entrails of the cow Mumu, heavily covered in swamp flies and scattering vermin. Not far from Mumu's remains. That's what Zaleria is standing on. She's standing on Mumu's remains. Not far from Mumu's remains, you see the shredded tail of a normal-sized alligator, the bloody appendage falling from a willow tree as you approach. It appears the albino beast has a voracious hunger.
Those don't normally grow on trees, do they?
No.
Nissha seems more and more enthusiastic about this task. This could truly be a worthy beast for us to slay.
It's definitely not your average alligator that you are now here to capture or fight.
I will wait for, our pants will wait for the two wildernessy types, or three wildernessy types actually, to kind of.
And another thing to keep in mind is now you're traveling the swamp, this will be treated as difficult terrain.
Ew.
So as we go forward, if you get into a combat situation, you will be able to move half your normal distance.
Do we have a ranger
You do. There is a ranger.
in our party?
That
I
ranger's
believe-
favorite
That would be
terrain is the coast, however.
Is a what?
Yeah.
It's the coast,
The coast.
The coast. Okay, so but definitely not here.
not the swamp.
We got the Surfer Ranger.
Yeah.
Hey, 10 dudes.
She's used to Stormreach. She's like an urban bounty hunter, so she's used to dealing with like the docks and the tides and the coastline.
And gnarly things.
Or at least that's her favorite terrain. Now, I know that Aleran has some kind of experience as a guide, but I don't know if that translates to him having any proficiency with swamps. I was thinking that was more like leading people into the forest for day trips or something.
Basically, the Wonder feature says that I have an excellent memory for maps and geography, and I can always recall general layout of terrains and settlements. So I probably remember the map that we saw, but that has nothing to do with this.
So I'm
unless
glad,
I've seen a map of this
knowing that now, I'm glad you got to roll on that map that you found with advantage, because I think that's appropriate.
Me too.
Wait, so you said the cow leg hanging from the tree.
It was an alligator tail.
I'm sorry, what?
It's an alligator tail that fell from the tree.
Oh, it was a tail. Oh, darn. Okay.
We have
Okay.
cow remains and a alligator tail.
Wait, how can there be an alligator tail without the rest of the alligator?
Because
it got
eaten.
It decided the tail was not tasty. It's like that third part of the chicken wing that you don't use, except for stock.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
Or
that's
they
like
saved
the
it for
best
later.
part of the alligator.
Maybe not to this alligator's taste, though. Although technically this is an El Lagarto. He says out of character voice because, oops. Are we going to head further into the swamp?
Can we see tracks from this massive alligator? I would imagine it's leaving a pretty clear trail.
Did we lose our DM?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Now I can?
Yeah.
All right. Discord has been kind of fading in and out my connection today, so
Oh, jeez.
what I said was you can do a survival or nature check to try to track the alligator.
I will attempt to roll survival.
The ranger should probably do that check as well.
What the heck?
What check am I doing?
Nature or survival, whichever is better.
Okie doke.
Yeah, that was the better of the two.
Alrighty. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Well, Brighton and Zaleria both spot tracks of a very large claws and perhaps the squish squish of a tail flicking back and forth angrily, moving to the southeast.
Towards the direction of Aleran.
Yeah.
As everybody has moved back and left me in front.
I'm so bad at unmasking the map. It's just terrible.
Player query: are we just going to clomp and splash through the underwater spushy bits, or are we going to try and collectively be quiet?
I think we should move a little slow and get the lay of the land before we stumble into this guy.
And we're moving at half speed too.
Which means we're moving at quarter speed if we're stealthing. If we want to go that way.
So you see that you can follow thus far the trail as far as this outcropping of cattails.
Okay.
Oh, that's where corn dogs grow.
Is Pants familiar with corn dogs?
Corn dogs, yes.
Is that bar food?
Cat. Hey, yeah. If it's fried, you could probably find it in a bar, to be fair.
I want everybody to make a perception check right now.
Zaleria with the hot dice.
Yeah. She needs to give her dice to Brighton.
Yeah.
Was that everybody? Oh, I didn't roll for Izzy.
She's too busy trying to keep her knitting needles from getting caught in the reeds.
And her House Jurassica robes are totally getting stained by this mucky water.
Hey, you guys, what are things called leeches? They come from swamps?
Yeah, they can come from swamps. They're
Funny you should
disgusting,
say
though.
that, because at this point, Zaleria, Izzy, and Pants all notice that they feel something is poking and crawling, trying to crawl, at least in case of Zaleria and Izzy, under their armor.
Ew.
And Pants realizes that something has latched onto his leg. Roll initiative.
You're gonna be really disappointed if you're a leech.
Oh, I need to adjust something on these leeches. They have, like, way more hit points than they're supposed to.
And we need,
You
Kit
shouldn't
Kat
see them yet.
No, but we need Kit Kat and Izzy's initiative.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I have 8 on here, but let me adjust the hit point. Apparently the DM made a typo somewhere.
Uh-oh.
So these leeches have like 4 times the hit points that they should. Though you can fight uber leeches if you want to.
They're so big.
They're giant. I'll have to
These shouldn't be giant.
These are giant.
We're fighting leeches of unusual size.
Everything's of unusual size in the swamp.
Oof.
Let me look at the leeches.
If it's a giant leech and it's huge, then
They're large in size,
right.
which is why it's taking up 4 spaces.
Yeah. Huge is going to be like, they're like 20 feet long. Yeah, they're definitely leeches of unusual size.
They are leeches of unusual size.
Well,
okay.
Like, huge is the size category that dragons hang out in.
Yeah, they're not huge.
Maybe you didn't make a typo and those are actually huge giant leeches. Like, those are... What's this?
The typo is in the variable rolling of their hit points, not in the set max hit points.
Oh, okay.
So it was rolling individual hit points, and that's how I got a huge number, whereas the set hit points is what I set it to be. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, it does. Like if the max is like supposed to be like 38, and then the individual rolling is like 75 D4 plus 200, and it's like, yeah, that's way more than 38. Just pulling numbers. I have no idea if 38 is their hit points. Don't buy into that. That was just a arbitrary number pulled out of.
I adjusted some. I changed them to medium beast, so let me see if this works better. I'm going to redrag everybody's tokens, and that might be because of how much time has passed. We might end on this note. Ah, that didn't help. I think we are going to end on this note, and I'm going to fix these leeches before next session.
Yeah.
But when we come back next session, which is going to be theoretically April 28th, 3 weeks. You guys are going to kick off with a battle against these giant leeches.
Okay, sounds cool.
And then theoretically,
awesome.
you will also perhaps finally find El Lagarto. Now that you are in the swamp. Because after all, the name of the thing is Monster in a Swamp, and you're finally in the swamp.
Mm.
Alrighty. Well, that will be this session.
All right.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.